Shalom. My name is MOREH ISHIYAH Yisrael from the House of Israel in Cincinnati, Ohio, 2330 Kemper Lane, bringing to you in 40 minutes or less. In 40 minutes or less, I will prove beyond a shadow of a doubt the word of Yahweh. Who is this Yahweh? Yahweh is the creator of the heaven, the earth, the sea, and all that is therein. Yahweh is the Elohim of our fathers, Abraham, Yitzhak, and Yisrael, whom you may know as Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob. Yahweh is our judge. Yahweh is our lawgiver. Yahweh is our king, who will save us. Shalom. Welcome to another program of 40 minutes or less. In today's program, we will deal in this lesson number 28 with the truth about voting. We're going to look at voting in the scriptures. Do the scriptures endorse voting? Since in America, we're in the season where they are embarking on electing a new president. America has taken this democratic and republic way of life all over the world to try to have the world to participate in voting for their various leaders, state representatives, city representatives, so forth and so on. But is this the way of Yahweh? If voting was so good, so righteous, as the world, in particularly the West, will have you to believe, would not Yahweh promotes such a thing, if it's that good, if it's that righteous? And since our people are embroiled in this belief system, well, we're going to look at it from Yahweh's perspective. And let's see if what's happening today, what's been happening well over 400 years, is this the way that we should adopt? We're going to start our discussion about this voting in the book of Job, the 9th chapter. And this is what it says in the book of Job, the 9th chapter. And I'm going to read the 24th verse. And this is what it says. The earth is given unto the hand of the wicked. He covereth the faces of the judges thereof. If not, where and who is he? In other words, if the judges of the earth, if the power brokers of the earth, if there was any righteousness in them, the various leaders, would not we see it on the ground? Would not there be any righteous orders around the earth? Around the earth, all we see is conflict. All we see is affliction, homelessness, starvation, more than we ever seen before. And the most important thing we see in the earth today is war. You can't go nowhere in the earth and find any type of peace, solitude, or any good thing. And you all know that I'm telling you the truth. And let me show you why you cannot. In the book of Isaiah. Turn to the book of Isaiah. That's how you know the faces of the judges, they're covered. They got to be covered, because who can look and see the gross actions that's taking place in the earth and not take notice. It says in the book of Isaiah, the 24th chapter, the very first verse, behold, Yahweh maketh the earth empty and maketh it waste, turneth it upside down, scattered abroad the inhabitants thereof. And it shall be as with the people, so with the priest, as with the servant, so with the master, as with the maid, so with her mistress, as with the buyer, so with the seller, as with the lender, so with the borrower, as with the taker of usury, so with the giver of usury to him. In other words, it don't matter. You got the Pope on one end, and then you got all the various Catholic priests and their believers. They might be presidents, they might be prime ministers, whoever they are. It don't matter who they are, but they all are scattered, and none of them are able to bring about peace, tranquility, or anything in the earth. Here you got all these Muslim imams. They say Islam is the religion for mankind. They don't even get along with one another, let alone, and I'm saying the ones that believe in Islam. They don't get along with one another, let alone have a doctrine that's peaceful and safe for the earth. Let us see y'all get along. And then maybe we can follow suit. But no, none of these religions and none of the power brokers, not even together, they able to bring about anything good in the earth, as the Almighty is telling us, because he done scattered all of them. Watch what it says. The land shall be utterly empty, utterly spoiled, for Yahweh has spoken this word. And what is the word? The earth mourneth and fadeth away. The world languishes and faded away. The haughty people of the earth do languish. The earth also is defiled under the inhabitants thereof, because they have transgressed the laws, changed the ordinance, broken the everlasting covenant. Therefore hath the curse devoured the earth, and they that dwell therein are desolate. Therefore the inhabitants of the earth are burned, and few men left. And that's what it's all about. It's all about the law. It's all about the laws of the Most High. It's all about how the inhabitants of the earth, the power brokers, the religious leaders, have changed the laws of the Most High. Even very basic, simple laws of the Most High, they have changed. They have changed the ordinances of the Most High. They have infiltrated the covenants of the earth of the Most High. And now the whole earth is defiled as a result of these leaders. Here in America, the leaders are called congressmen, senators, mayors, state representatives, governors. But in truth, let's just break it down what they really are. These are lawmakers. These are people that make the laws for you and I to follow. And these laws are a total contradiction of the Most High. They are contradiction of the very basic, simple laws of the earth. And as a result of this, they will have you to believe that you have the power to elect them, to put them in office, to make these laws that goes totally against the creator of the heaven, the earth, the sea, and all that therein is. And I'm going to show you that. And I'm going to show you that these leaders, even though they have transgressed the laws, even though the Almighty allowed them to do this, but they're not ruling at all. Watch what the Creator lets us know about this system of voting. And let me say this about voting also. Voting has never, ever been used to bring independence to anybody. When Haiti got their independence, it wasn't through voting, it was through war. When South Sudan got their independence, they didn't use voting, it was through war. When the state of Israel got their independence, it wasn't because they voted their way into the state and as a state. No, it was through war. And I might add, America didn't get their independence through voting. When America, the North and the South went to war, why didn't they vote their independence? Why didn't they vote? Why didn't they vote their independence from Europe and England? If voting is so good, so righteous, and the right way to go. No. Not even the North and the South arguing about slavery. They didn't do that by votes. They did that by war. But they want you to believe, for you to have your independence, that you got to vote. And this is a total outright lie. A system that has never, ever benefited a minority. Watch this. We're talking about voting. In the scriptures, the Almighty made it crystal clear to us in the book of Deuteronomy, the 17th chapter. And this is the law. And I may add, we will do this in 40 minutes or less. For it don't take 40 minutes even to prove the word of Yahweh. And oftentimes, and most times, considerably less. In the book of Deuteronomy 17, watch what this says, and this is how Yahweh see things. Starting at the 14th verse. When thou art come into the land which Yahweh thy Elohim giveth thee, and shall possess it, and shall dwell therein, and shall say, I will set a king over me, like as all the nations that are about me. Thou shalt in any wise set him king over thee, whom Yahweh thy Elohim shall choose. One from among thy brethren, thou shalt set king over thee. Thou mayest not set a stranger over thee, which is not thy brother. But he shall not multiply horses to himself, nor cause the people to return to Egypt, to the end that he should multiply horses. For as much as Yahweh have said unto you, ye shall henceforth return no more that way. Neither shall he multiply wives to himself, that his heart turn not away. Neither shall he greatly multiply to himself silver and gold. And it shall be, when he sitteth upon the throne of his kingdom, that he shall write him a copy of this law in a book, out of that which is before the priests, the Levites. And it shall be with him, and he shall read therein all the days of his life, that he may learn to fear Yahweh his Elohim, to keep all the words of this law, these statutes, to do them, that his heart be not lifted up above his brethren, and that he turn not aside from the commandment to the right hand or to the left, to the end that he may prolong his days in his kingdom, he and his children in the midst of Israel. So the Almighty letting us know that any king, any ruler that we set up, and I'm talking about the black man and the black woman of America, it was one that's supposed to be of our brethren, our people. And why? Because they will have our best interests. But even though it's one of our brethren, The Almighty said the only one that we were to choose is one that he set up. And why? Because Yahweh know all of our best interests. No matter how much I might look out for your interests, my best interest may not be your best interest. But Yahweh know all of our best interests. So the Almighty said the only one that we set up is the one he set up. Because the one he set up is going to be the one that goes by his law and by his way and do his will. The Almighty said this king was to write a copy of the law and read it all the days of his life. And why? So his heart won't be lifted up above his brethren, so that he know how to treat people, know how to serve people, and most important, know how to rule people. And see, the world is under the erroneous impression that the heavens are not ruling. The heavens are still ruling. Just because you think you're getting away with your wickedness, that don't mean the heavens ruling. It's not ruling. I'm going to prove beyond a shadow of a doubt that the heaven is ruling. But our people always wanted to be like the other nations. You will find this in the book of 1 Samuel, the 8th chapter, if you turn there. They never wanted to be peculiar, a peculiar people, a special kingdom separated from all the nations on earth. They never wanted to be that. In the book of 1 Samuel, the 8th chapter, watch what it says. And it, first verse. And it came to pass when Samuel was old, that he made his sons judges over Israel. Now the name of the firstborn was Joel. The name of his second, Abiah. They were judges in Beersheba. And his sons walked not in his ways, but turned aside after lucre, took bribes, and perverted judgment, as many of the various senators and governors and Congress people and city representatives are doing. Most, if not all, and I won't say all, but many of them is corrupt. And that's because the system itself is corrupt, just like Trump said. And even though Donald Trump said the system is corrupt, what he failed to tell you is he's corrupt also. Why you think he's a part of the system? Watch what it says. Then all the elders of Israel gathered themselves together and came to Samuel unto Ramah and said unto him, behold, thou art old, thy sons walk not in thy ways. Now make us a king to judge us like all the nations. They want to be like everybody else. And this was a total slap in the face of Yahweh. A total slap in the face. This was a total abomination to even think such a thing, that you want somebody to rule you other than the most just, the most fair, the most righteous ruler that you can have. And that's Yahweh, the creator of the heaven, the earth, the sea, and all that therein is. And the Almighty told us that he's the ruler in the kingdom of men. Watch what Yahweh say in the book of Daniel, the 4th chapter. Turn there. Daniel, the 4th chapter, talking about voting. Here it is. All you're doing is electing people to an office that they can make laws that will contradict your best interest, because your best interest should be righteousness. And the only righteous thing Yahweh gave us is his laws. Watch this. And you will even vote people in to contradict things you don't even believe religiously and spiritually. In the book of Daniel, the 4th chapter, watch what it says in the 17th verse. Because Yahweh had to oftentimes let the various leaders of these kingdoms know what's going on. In Daniel, the 4th chapter, the 17th verse, this matter is by the decree of the watchers and a demand by the word of the holy ones, to the intent that the living may know, not the Muslims, not the Christians, not the blacks, not the gays, that the living may know that the Most High ruleth in the kingdom of men, and giveth it to whomsoever he will, and setteth up over it the basis of men. In other words, Yahweh is always, when y'all go to vote, it's always the lowest people on the total poll. And why? In other words, these people they will do anything in office. They say a lot of things before they get there, but then as soon as they get there, they'll drop bombs on little babies and women. They don't care. They will do all kind of vile things. They will pass laws where a man can marry a man, like President Obama did, even though he say he don't even believe in that spiritually. So he will even go against his own spiritual beliefs for the sake of the laws of the land. Who will go, if you go against your spiritual belief, you'll go against anything, because your spiritual belief supposed to be your belief in the Most High. And if you go against your spiritual belief, then you'll go against the Most High. And if you'll go against the Most High, you'll go against anything. And this is why Yahweh said what he said. He set up over these kingdoms the bases of men, because they'll go against him. And since they'll go against the Most High, and since they have gone against the Most High, just by the proof of the laws that they have enacted, the Constitution of America is not fair in no kind of way. And everybody know this. The Constitution that was written, it was written by slave owners. So how can it be fair? Watch this. In the book of Daniel, the 7th chapter, show you what Yahweh said he's going to do as a result of these kingdoms that say they believe in him, but they really don't. And you know they don't, because they go against his laws. Why do you think the earth is in such total disarray? Watch this. Daniel, the 7th chapter. And we're going to start reading at the 21st verse. I beheld the same horn made war with the saints and prevailed against them. Until the Ancient of Days came, judgment was given to the saints of the Most High. And the time came that the saints possessed the kingdom. And this is a future prophecy, so it ain't happened yet. But the saints of the Most High will possess this kingdom, but you too prideful, too arrogant to believe it and to be patient about it. Thus he said, the fourth beast shall be the fourth kingdom upon earth, which shall be diverse from all kingdoms and shall devour the whole earth, tread it down and break it in pieces. And the 10 horns out of this kingdom are 10 kings that shall arise, and another shall rise after them. And he shall be diverse from the first, and he shall subdue 3 kings. And I know most people haven't even read this, so they don't even understand what this means. And in our next lesson, we're going to show you this. We're going to teach this history that has already unfolded before you. And we're going to talk about this fourth beast. And he shall speak great words against the Most High, and shall wear out the saints of the Most High, and think to change times and laws. And they shall be given into his hand until times and a dividing of time. But the judgment shall sit, and they shall take away his dominion to consume and to destroy it until the end. And the kingdom and dominion and the greatness of the kingdom under the whole heaven shall be given to the people of the saints of the Most High, whose kingdom is an everlasting kingdom, and all dominions shall serve and obey him. So these kingdoms are coming down anyway, all of them. And there's going to be one kingdom that shall rule, and it will be a righteous kingdom because it will be ruled by the Most High. Furthermore, our people really don't understand why they are in the predicament that they're in, voting in their enemy's land on something, on someone that would never, ever have their best interest. Watch this in the book of Deuteronomy, the 28th chapter. I just want you to see why we are in the pitiful condition that we're in, that we have reduced ourselves to voting in men, voting leaders to make laws for us, when we suppose and we say we believe in the Most High. Here it is in the book of Deuteronomy, the 28th chapter, the 25th verse. Watch this. It says, Yahweh shall cause thee to be smitten before thy enemies. And these are enemies. We came as slaves. Thou shalt go out one way against them and flee 7 ways before them. And thou shalt be removed into all the kingdoms of the earth. We're the only people that has been removed in all the kingdoms of the earth and don't even know how we got there. Don't even know why we're there. Don't know what we did to even be there. Because we refuse to ask ourselves the very question, what happened to us and what happened to the creator of the heaven, the earth, the sea, and all that is therein that has allowed this thing. And watch this same thing in Deuteronomy, the 28th chapter. And we're going to read the 45th verse. And it says, moreover, all these curses shall come upon thee, and shall pursue thee, and overtake thee, till thou be destroyed, because thou hearkenest not unto the voice of Yah Elohim, to keep his commandments and his statutes, which he commanded thee. And they shall be upon thee for a sign, and for a wonder, and upon thy seed forever, because thou servest not Yahweh thy Elohim with joyfulness, with gladness of heart, for the abundance of all things. Therefore, thou shalt serve thy enemies, which Yahweh shall send against thee, in hunger, in thirst, in nakedness, and in want of all things. And he shall put a yoke of iron upon thy neck until he have been destroyed. Yahweh shall bring a nation against thee from afar, from the end of the earth, as swift as the eagle flieth. A nation whose tongue thou shalt not understand, a nation of fierce countenance, which shall not regard the person of the old, nor show favor to the young. And welcome. This is America. And you know it is. You know this is the enemy that have tricked you to have you believe that you can vote yourself into independence, you can vote yourself into freedom, and you can vote yourself out of all the various calamities that have befell you since you came to these shores. And still today, in 2024, you're still being beat down by the same people that beat you down from the beginning. Until our next program, Yahweh love you, and so do I. Shalom. Yahweh is righteous. Yahweh is holy. And let Yahweh continually be magnified.